Paper and Glam family. Welcome to our first book club discussion. So if you are reading along with us, then you know last month, which was September 2014, we started a book club together, and I'm so excited that so many of you wanted to read along. That really meant a lot to me, and I wasn't sure what the response would be or if it would be something that you were into, but I'm so excited that you are and that so many of you liked the book. So as you may know, we read If I Stay last month, and this video is going to be a discussion of If I Stay. So I hope you enjoyed the book, and I look forward to reading your comments and hearing your feedback in the comments below or on the blog or on Goodreads, which actually reminds me a little bit of housekeeping. I did start a Paper and Glam book club group on Goodreads, and that is linked below for you. So if you'd like to join that and join a discussion or see what we're reading, see what we are reading next month or currently reading, in case you want to join in, that's a great way to get connected. So I think we'll just go ahead and start discussing the books. So there's a few questions, and I just made some notes on my phone. If you're wondering why I'm looking at my phone during this, I'm not texting or anything. There's a couple questions that I love in my current book club that I do also monthly with a group of girls, but also just some of my favorite things to think about when I finish a book. So I came up with 3 and tentatively 4 questions if it's applicable. It's not always applicable, the last one. But I hope that you will add to it and just give any feedback that I may have missed or that you'd like to talk about next time. All right, my first thought for this book and any book is, how did you experience the book? So by that I mean, how was your experience, not just reading it, but emotionally with the characters? Were you glued to the book? Did you fall in love with the main character? Did it just make you feel connected and like your story resonated with the plot line? So I actually started to answer this question, but Lauren, who is my friend on Goodreads and a Paper and Glam reader, actually wrote her experience so much better than I think I could have. So if you don't mind, I would love to read you what she said about this month's selection, If I Stay. So Lauren said, "Where are the words for how beautiful this story was? I was in my chair, gripped to this book, a hot cup of coffee at my side, and I stayed up late into the night to read in one sitting. Written in such a lovely way, filled with characters that are rich in details, this book was everything I was looking forward to from it, delivered in ways that exceeded my already high expectations and leaving me wanting more from this girl Mia's world. Part of this book pulled at my innermost heartstrings, shed a tear, and left me filled with hope for my own footsteps in life. It truly left me thinking about all the little things that lead me to where I am, and how your entire world can be shattered within a matter of seconds. Now everything is in our control. Not everything is within our control, but how we deal with it is. The characters are so rich and brimming with liveliness. I was captivated by and very connected to Mia's thoughts. If I Stay is tragic and heartbreaking, an undeniably beautiful story, filled with a heartwarming family and the power of love no matter the degrees of separation." So how beautiful is that review from Lauren's blog, which is also linked below. I just think that if all of the books we read for the Paper and Glam book club leave us gripped to our chairs with a cup of coffee and make us stay up late into the night, then that is a huge win. So that's a lofty aspiration though for all of us to feel that way about each read. So I loved Lauren's review, and I hope that you will join the Paper and Glam book club, and I look forward to reading your reviews and would love to use them and link to your sites in the future. So the next question that I gave you a preview when we launched the Paper and Glam book club was, what is your favorite quote from the book? So mine was Mia's dad, and he said, "Sometimes we make choices and sometimes choices make us." And as I was reading that line, the more I thought about it, the more profound it became. Because if you think about it, of course, we're all a product of our choices. And they're just, our lives are a million choices strung together that create an identity for us. So, you know, little things like what we eat for dinner to what job we do, what, you know, we study in school and how we spend our time, all of that creates our lives. And that's implied, you know, choices make us who we are, but then sometimes choices make you. And that is the part that is really profound, right? I don't know if you've had an experience or if you've made a choice that led you to an entirely different experience of life than you would have had you not made the choice. So an example in my own life is when I chose to move to Denver. I left sunny Southern California and moved here and just saw a completely different way of living that has shaped who I am and changed me in ways that I could never have imagined. So I loved that quote, and I would love to hear what your favorite quote was from If I Stay. All right, the third question is, has this novel changed you, broadened your perspective? Have you learned something new or been exposed to different ideas? So a couple things that I had thought about while I read this book was, the first one, you know, was really the Glasgow coma phenomenon, and it's widely, I guess, discussed in the medical world if truly you can choose to wake up or go and leave your life when you are in a coma. And it's widely been experienced and said by people who have been in comas that you actually do get to choose, which is absolutely crazy to think about. So I don't know if you believe that or what you think, but I think that that is just an incredible thing to think about, and just what a decision to be faced with, to either wake up an orphan and deal with the grief of losing your family like Mia did, or to go to heaven and be with them. So that was the first thing that really challenged some of my perceptions about comas. I'd never thought that it was a choice. It could be a choice whether you wake up or not. The second thing was just how beautiful and tragic and messy and fragile is life, right? It's just so, all of those things, and it's so fragile, which is actually what makes it so beautiful. And I just finished this book so convicted just to live each day as a gift, to spend it wisely, to live it joyfully and for God's glory. That really just convicted me as I read this book. Very similarly to The Fault in Our Stars. I'm not sure if you've read The Fault in Our Stars or seen the movie, but I did both this summer. I loved it. It's one of my favorite books to movie adaptations. Definitely ugly cried through all of it, but that movie, even more so than the book, left me with just an incredible feeling of just conviction to live life joyfully and to the fullest. So with that, that's actually a great segue to our last question, was book versus movie. So if you have seen the movie, which I actually saw it on Monday, did you like the book better or the movie better? So I definitely liked the movie better. I ugly cried literally through the entire thing. I think the portrayal of Portland, which is one of my favorite cities, is just absolutely breathtaking. And then the casting was perfect. The portrayal of Mia's family, that whole dynamic was absolutely perfectly executed. And then lastly, the Mia Adam love story was just absolutely incredible to watch that unfold. So I loved the movie. I have to say it was a little better than the book, and overall I would give If I Stay 3 stars, but the movie is 4 stars by far. So if you have read the book, if you haven't seen the movie, or if you just want to watch the movie, I would highly recommend it. So yeah, that is about it for our discussion of If I Stay. I wanted to keep this a little bit shorter than some of my other videos, which you know I cannot make a video less than 20 minutes to save my life. So I'd love to hear your feedback on how we can make this a better book club. And then if you missed it, I did announce up on the blog that October's read is Gone Girl. So Gone Girl comes out in the theaters on Friday. And actually a bunch of my friends have already read it and are going to see it on Friday. I have not started, so I have heard it's a page turner. They're telling me that I could just bust this out in like a couple days and go see it in the theaters with them, so I'm not sure that I will quite make that, but I'm excited to see it nonetheless. This should be a quick one for us, and I'm so excited to read Gone Girl next month and discuss it with you. So I so appreciate you reading along with me and just the overwhelming response to the Paper and Glam book club launch. Thank you so much for watching. You're my YouTube family, so thank you so much. Have a wonderful week and weekend. Happy reading.